Sir, we back in the building. New episode, baby.
Give it applause.
What's happening? What's happening? We here.
What's
Been a
good? What's
while.
good, baby? For sure.
I feel like we ain't recording shit. Damn near all summer feel like.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, it's been a
Well,
while.
I mean, summer's a good time always to take off. I mean, it's not a lot of going on.
Yeah, true.
You know, just normal formalities. Everybody kind of resting. So, that's how it is during the summertime. Training sessions going on.
Yep.
It's not a lot, but one thing we do know, football camp is back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we
they're
were
Whether it's high school, college, or the pros, man, they're back in session. So that's always a lovely thing to see.
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
It's time. It's time. We done had a little bit of downtime for about a month or 2 months, not for a couple of weeks, but yeah, it is the best time of the year. You got the baseball, football, basketball gonna start up in October, so you got a lot going on right now.
Man, I ain't worried about baseball no more.
Yeah, that team stinks, bro. Anything? Listen, if you're in the state of Georgia, you'll be in school already.
Yeah, South Carolina too. Yep.
New Orleans started.
Somebody told me that. I was like, I ain't never heard that before.
Yeah, it's like they getting earlier and earlier, though. Like for real.
But see, they get out like the early part of May, right before Memorial Day. So they like,
It's
okay,
always
yeah.
been, but it's always
Yeah.
been getting out the early part of May.
Yeah.
that hasn't changed. What's changed is when they come back in school. The session is like they're coming back earlier than they ever have in the past, ever before. So that's just kind of crazy that we're starting to see like they're shorting in summer.
Mhm.
I would just make school year round. I mean, everybody should just go for it at this point. It's no point of it even making it where you only have one session. I mean, you just have 2 months out, a month and a half. You think about it, you get May, half of May, June, July, and then you're back in school.
Yeah.
But
At
I
this
think
point, I would just make it. You just make it 100%. Like, hey, let's just make it year round.
but they don't have the teachers. You got so
They
many.
will complain.
Yeah,
They will complain.
Yeah, you don't have the teachers. So when you don't have the teachers, I think it'll be tough for them to get it done because a lot of teachers are finding other things to do because of how they want you to teach your kids and all that. So it's like, okay, why I'm even in the business if I can't teach, how I want to teach the kids and make an environment better.
If you go year round, you probably will be in the business where you can teach your kids with a little bit different. Like you can have more, you will have more say so when it comes to your curriculum. Like if you don't, right now they don't have any, but in another if they keep going where it's going, man, it's going to be year round. It is what it is, but it's just not every state's not the same, so that's the difference.
True, yeah.
State has too much control over the educational of their educational system. But yeah, like Ray said, man, we're back for another episode of the Argue Butters podcast. How's everybody doing though?
Good, bro. I'm ready to get at it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. Well, shoot, man. Let's jump into it. First topic on the day, man. Since you say you ready to get at it, you ready to talk about something. I hear you. That means I like enthusiasm like that. We like determination and people being all about it. And let's talk about we talked about NFL camp, and there's a lot going on. It's one major factor that's been going on. There's been running backs feeling like running back position been devalued.
Yeah.
And not getting paid, man. We saw Barkley get a 1-year contract for $11 million. Josh Jacobs still on the shelf. You see what's going on with Indianapolis with Jonathan Taylor. A lot of running backs are complaining. Harris said something about it. And then, of course, both Alabama backs. Henry, he also had an issue as well as far as they're just not getting the money they feel like should be compensated. So let's jump into it, man. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you think is going on with the running back position. Start us off, Sabrina.
Yeah, Sabrina know her sports, man.
Whatever, man. I just think the league has become a more passing league. But the problem with that is you asking the running backs to catch the ball out the backfield. You asking running backs to block. You asking running backs to run the ball 15 to 20 times a game. They're getting involved in the game in so many ways. And at the end of the day, they feel like, well, once we use you, we can go get another back from anywhere. And I think for some teams that could be true, but I don't think that's true for all teams. And I think, even with the Giants situation, he made all this fuss, but you should have just went ahead and signed a tender. You only got an extra $1 million that come with incentives. You see what I'm saying? Barkley made all. I mean, he made all this fuss. You got the tender was 10 years. I mean, 10 million from the start. And I get you a man of your word of you want to play, you want to be out there with your team, but you only got an extra $1 million, now just for incentives. And I think that you just don't plug any running back into any system. For some, like I said, some teams it works for, but you paying these quarterbacks all this money, but you asking the running backs to block for them, catch pass out the backfield for them, and do other things outside of what the quarterback do, but you paying them millions of dollars. It's just like with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry got a $37 million contract for over, what, 4 or 5 years? Yeah. But then you paid Tannehill $94 million. So who is more valuable? You see what I'm saying? Derrick Henry is more valuable. I mean, I get Tannehill's the quarterback, but he don't bring nothing to the table. What has Tannehill done in Tennessee to get him to wait? Well, we need to pay him 94 and give Derrick Henry less. It don't make sense. Is it like with Daniel Dimes? 15 touchdowns, 5 picks. You see what I'm saying? He's not even throwing a touchdown a game. And it's just sad, brother, how they doing these guys. And I think until the Players Association needs to do better. Because I think they got them in this situation where you can franchise a player twice. Well, who else they going to franchise twice? The running back. Because it's cheaper value. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it's bad. I think these running backs needs to go talk to the Players Association and make your gripe with them, because at the end of the day, as long as this CBA is it is, they are going to be the ones who get the 2-year franchise tag. No matter how much they complain, they're going to be the ones to get it, and I think they need to do something about that.
Yeah, and it's sad that they're doing that when we know that a great running game, great defense win championships. And I get it, they passing the ball like crazy now. But you need that specialized back that gets out of the backfield now. You need that back to get those tough yards. Eckler is a good 3-down back. Kamara, you got Josh Jacobs, you got Barkley. Even though Barkley has been hurt a little bit last couple years, last year he was fully healthy. So I can see the Giants kind of waiting on him to give him a big deal. But if I'm Josh Jacobs, bro, I'm pissed. Bro, I'm not showing up until I think it's like week 10, I think it is, so you can get a credit for the season. But this man didn't had 3,000-yard seasons in his first 4 years. Like, what more do you want this man to do from a running back standpoint? He's been healthy. He's not hurt, right? Like, what more you want him to do? And you showing him, he had 1,600 yards last year. He led the league in rushing, right? So it's like, it's sad that they devalue, but I blame the players. When you look at how the NBA is making money and you look how the NFL never get guaranteed contracts, but the players need to stand up. Just like the running backs had their little running back meeting trying to, do whatever that's supposed to be doing. When it's time for that CBA, that's when you're supposed to stand strong and stand up for the other positions to get more money, right? But money talks. These guys don't really probably manage their money well, and they need those money, so they can't be going into a lockout. That's when you complain when it's time to do the CBA. Don't complain now that they tagging the running backs at a lower value. Is it down bad? Yes, it's very wrong. But at the end of the day, stand up when they do the CBA. That's the time to really put your point across. That's the time to really make your point. How much do the owners really care about the players? Billionaires like to make money, just like these millionaire NFL players like to make money at the same time, right? But at the end of the day, running backs do need more money. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Y'all signed the deal overall. And you got to live with it, man. But if I'm Job Jacobs, bro, I'm pissed. I'm sitting out.
I don't know if he can sit out, but I mean, when you look at the running back position, I don't understand why people feel like it's being. I feel like financially it's being devalued. But I don't understand from a position standpoint, where is it getting devalued when they're outside the quarterback? They're the second most important player on the field. They touch the ball the most outside the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you have to deal with that, they should also get paid just like how a quarterback gets paid. An efficient running game gets you to the Super Bowl. We all see it.
Yeah.
I know that everybody looked at Kansas City and said, okay, you got Kansas City. Kansas City showed you that you don't have to have a top tier running back or a number 1 draft pick type running back to win the Super Bowl. but they've also lost because of that too.
Yeah.
And we all kind of can fit that. Everybody forgets that even though they won a Super Bowl, they've actually lost one as well. We all kind of forget that they've won what they won two and lost two.
Yeah, lost one.
We only lost one.
They lost one, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, so they've had opportunities where teams have beat them because they were better at running the ball. I think Tampa Bay did a better job of running the ball when they played against them, right? So at the end of the day, what I'm just trying to state is, and I think Fournette had a monster game in the Super Bowl, by the way. So the running back position should not be divided because they're putting up numbers still at the same time. They touch the ball with everybody else. And the fact that they have to deal with this type of disrespect, man, it's really appalling. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know if this is a situation where the owners, the GMs, or something is pushing this type of narrative. Outside of just the BS, man. Something's pushing the media, something's pushing this narrative because you do have some the guy from San Diego.
Eckler.
Yeah, he's one of the few running backs that was at a free agent or was a low draft pick, and that's the starting running back has done his thing. And you've seen guys come off the streets or basically or not high draft picks and still do their thing. But for the most part, man, the top tier running backs, if you look at the top 5 ones, they all either been at the first round picks or second round picks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, and if and they all get into the right situation and they go out there and they ball out. If they want to divide a running back, then you have to divide some of the quarterbacks because Jalen is a second round draft pick. He's not a first round draft pick. Yep. Lamar was late 30s, right?
Yeah.
It's only maybe there's some quarterbacks that are no longer in the league.
Yep.
First round draft pick. So all right, so everybody has buses. Everybody has the thing. You got them in the right system, right place. I don't understand it, man. Something's going on. Something's going on where it's not ironed out. This is not making sense, man.
And then when you got the tight ends who get less balls, less touches, making more money than the running back, that's a problem. That is the problem. Because you got Kermit, who making $54 million.
Yeah, bro.
You mean to tell me
you got 30 catches.
That's what I'm saying. So you mean to tell me Kermit is more important to the Bears as a tight end, and then you look at the Giants and you saying, hey, Barkley, we can't pay you Kermit money, but I touch the ball more and you use me more, and I know they want to say, well, running backs get injured. Well, shit, everybody get injured.
Everybody get injured.
Everybody get hurt. That is no reason to say, well, we can't use you. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, but you still scrape up the money to play these quarterbacks. Tannehill, I mean, it's just bad. Now, what do y'all think it would make a difference if they take the running backs take what Kirk Cousins did instead of getting 5 years, just give me 3 years fully guaranteed? And that's just a question. Do you think it would make a difference if they say, you know what, forget taking a long-term deal, give me 3 years, $15 million?
Well, 15 total or 15 a year?
15 a year, 45 for 3 years.
They'll take that.
Guaranteed.
I think I think the running backs tend to take the 4 to 5 years, to spend that money out because they know they're not going to ever see the end of that contract.
Yeah, I know that's why they do it. But I'm just saying, do you think from an organization standpoint, would they go for a running back coming in and say, hey, give me 3 years, fully guaranteed, $45 million, $15 million a year? You know what I'm saying? And just take that, fully guaranteed. Because
they don't have to, because if the running back is really valued, like let's say Bijan Robinson with the Falcons, you drive him as a first round pick, he's going to get $11 million for the first 4 years of his contract anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So he's going to get all the way to his 5th year of his contract. He's going to get $11 million. It's guys that you just talk about, like Kamara when he first came in, there was a 3rd round draft pick. There was an instant impact, only making maybe less than $1 million a year. Yeah. Those other guys are also a part of that issue too, because then when they want to get their second contract, they're not receiving the amount of money they want to get, or they have an issue. So I don't know, man. Like should they get a 3-year contract? I've always said, man, keep the deal short, because that's what you're starting to see what linemen are doing. Yeah. I mean, Titus Howard, he had a 3-year deal. What's the guy that's the other Larry what's the
Council?
Tussle, yes, Tussle. Tussle went 3 years, 70-something million, right? Like, so it's starting to make sense.
Yeah.
They are giving fully guaranteed deals. Both quarterbacks got fully guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's bad, man. It's just bad business. And these guys, like you said, they touch the ball more. I mean, just they're the second most, touches to the quarterback.
Yeah, they're the most utilized position outside the quarterback.
And I'm like, you just gonna tell me, and I think DeMar Smith played a big part in this. Because I'm just like, dude, you're gonna allow these dudes to franchise the running backs. They're not gonna franchise nobody else, no lineman or nothing. We can franchise the quarterback. I mean, running backs, get them $10 million a year, and it went down. It used to be like what, 13, 14, 14, 15. It went down to 10. So I'm looking like, now you done knock $5 million off my production, and I'm giving you, and I'm producing, and you're gonna take $5 million away from me. Now I don't think it would have been a problem if they said, okay, you still get the $15 million on the franchise tag. You're damn right, I'm gonna take you. Do me twice. I get $30 million. You know what I'm saying? Whether I get hurt or not, I'm getting $30 million for 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a problem. But now you done knock $5 million off. Like, come on, man. Like,
I mean, I think sometimes they didn't do themselves any favors. You got guys like Zeke who got extremely paid.
Oh yeah.
Got paid off his first deal, then got paid off the second deal, and everybody didn't even really get to see the end of that contract. And when he got there, he wasn't the same type of player, so people felt like this is what happens. Yeah. So he came the anomaly. He came in and basically he was like, he's the example of, hey, once you get that same contract, you're a running back, you don't get to see your skill sets diminished. You're still paying that running back. Then it becomes an issue, right? So guys like that, you see, there are examples of teams going to utilize, and the reason why they're trying to stay away from that model of a guy like Zeke who never going to be able to get to the end of his contract because of the fact that he's just not the same type of player. But there's guys who still going to be, still fully capable of leading their team and being the best player on the field when they get to that second contract. I'm looking to see. I'm very interested in Najee Harris once he gets the end of his deal. Are the Steelers going to pay him?
Nope.
You know what I mean? Because he's getting like 200-300 touches a game. Yeah. I mean, a year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting a lot of touches. He got a lot of value. He's had a lot of production, but at the same time, he's been healthy too. But at the same time, man, he's been utilized a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting what they do with Derrick Henry too next year.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's gonna be a big example because he's had a guy like utilization and he's been injured a little bit this last couple of years. Now, that's gonna be interesting to see what he does.
And the production is there. You know that, and he's very important to their team. Yep. Very important. When he roll, it seems like Tennessee roll.
Well, so it's like what they're gonna do with him on his contract. Were they willing to pay him? Are you gonna pay him for more pass production? Do you pay him for what you feature-wise, what you feel like he can do? His utilization has been very high as well.
Oh hell yeah,
yeah. So let's see how that works.
Yeah, it remains to be seen.
Well, all right, man. So let's stay into the running back game right quick. So, Josh Jacobs, do you think he's going to continue to keep holding out? Should he stay out for the entire season? Ray, start us off.
Seems like he's good. I mean, you done missed camp already. Just prove your point. I wouldn't show up until it's time for me to get credit for the season. I think it's either week 10 or week 7. And that's how you prove your point. Like, I get it, you're going to miss the money, right? But at the end of the day, if you're trying to prove a point, that's how you prove it, bro. Don't show up. Because if you show up, people going to, just like Saquon. The Zoom meetings they had with the running backs, he goes sign the tender. Like, you can't say one thing and do another thing, right? So if Jacobs is stuck on being adamant, the way to prove it, bro, just sit out. That's how you prove a point. That's how you prove it, though.
I think Jacobs needs to go play. This is why. It's easy for the outside and all of us to say, well, he needs to prove a point or he needs to do this. But this is the thing. And you said it earlier, Ray. If everybody's not on the same accord, it's not going to work.
What, team-wise from a championship?
No, I'm talking about team-wise for getting paid and getting your money and taking a stand with the CBA. The CBA is already done.
Yeah.
You know, so no matter whether he sit out or not, don't give money away. You know what I'm saying? Because whether you like it or not, guess what? They can franchise you next year. So at the same point all over again. You see what I'm saying? So whether he want to sit out or not, take your money, bro. Get your fully guaranteed money. And I get it. They it's not right of how they playing it, but at the end of the day, they can franchise him again. So you're gonna sit out 2 years? It's not. It's okay. What that prove? Now you done lost 20 million.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely a lot of money, but seems like he's dug in. I think it's more disrespect than I think it's just more about pay.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's had 3 out of 4 years. He had 1,000 yards. Like he's probably saying, like, what more do I have to prove?
But and I don't disagree. I agree with everything you're saying. I'm just saying whether he like it or not, you don't give money back. Take that fully guaranteed money. Because dog, whether if you sit out this whole year, now you done missed out on 10 million, fully guaranteed. Yeah. You come back next year, they're gonna franchise you again. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. It's not like you don't know it's coming, but you know it's coming. Depending on what happens with the season, you know it's coming. They're gonna franchise you again. So you better off, like it or love it, just go ahead and play. Get your fully guaranteed money because you can't make this 10 million up again. You just can't. Yeah. So if I'm him, once camp is over, I show up and just play. Because a lot of times that's what it is anyway. Dudes don't want to go to camp. You know what I'm saying?
That's why Dalvin Cook ain't signing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to go to camp. I done been through this. You know what I'm saying? I done been through all that. Let me come when the season starts. I'll learn the playbook or whatever and keep it moving. Because he should already know the playbook. You see what I'm saying? You got a different quarterback, but you should know the playbook. So if I'm him, go play, get your 10 million, and then figure it out next year. But don't let money go back to the club just for free.
Yeah, he has to go ahead and go back, man. I'm hearing rumblings that he's, they are in communication with each other. He's thinking about coming back to camp, or at least sign that franchise tender. But what are you going to do with sitting at home? You get no reps. Your body's going to get a little stale. I'm granted you are doing little things to keep yourself in shape. But everybody knows this football shape is different than just regular training, exercise type of shape. It's not the same. So get back in there, man. Go ahead and sign the tender and just go ahead and move forward and just strategize for next season. He should strategize for what he's going to do once the season ends next year.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting nothing out of sitting out for the entire year. We've seen this happen with the former running back for the Steelers.
Le'Veon Bell.
And it didn't go well.
Yeah.
He got his money with the Jets, and he was out the league in 3 years. So what else is going to be next for him? You don't want to go fall down that ladder. It's just not going to be something that you want to do. So if I'm him, go ahead, take the tender, get your money for this season, but go ahead and start strategizing for your exit next year. There's nothing else left, man. Just go ahead and move on and go from there. Now, let's talk about Jonathan Taylor, because that's a little different situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Jonathan Taylor, he wants to be traded. He wants to move on. He's not getting paid, and his owner is tripping. He is definitely feeling like he is running a slave camp. I don't know what he think this is. Like he is definitely. He is. What was my man on the Django? He want to think he Big Daddy. You know what I mean? Like that's what he think he is. He think he Big Daddy because he out there acting like he ain't going nowhere. Like this boy ain't going nowhere. This and that. I'm like, man, you tripping, brother.
Really?
Like, so, let's talk about his situation. What do you think Jonathan Taylor should do? What do you think how the situation is going to end for him?
Man, this is crazy. I think they're going to sit Jonathan Taylor not playing.
Okay.
Because and the only reason I say that is because you make up this story that he had some back injury or some foolishness like that, and then he comes out and says, "Nah, I'm healthy. Like there's nothing wrong with me. I just want to be out of here." So for him to say he want to be out of Indianapolis, there's some things that was said or done up to this point that never hit the surface. for him to all of a sudden say, after last season was a debacle or whatever, but then you come up right before the season, even though the running backs are not getting paid, but you come up right before the season and say, yo, I'm ready to be out of here. Something happened to where he's just like, all of a sudden, you got a quarterback, Richardson, we don't know how good he's going to be. You made some little changes in the offseason. That's, that can help the team. And you coming back healthy, got some offensive linemen. You got a pretty decent receiving core. But for you to say the bell cow of the team, say, I'm ready to go, something was done in the last couple of months for him to get to that point. And I'm pretty sure, just like James said, the owner said something out his mouth wrong when he went to go talk to him.
Yeah, but I read
the wrong way.
All right, I think it was what's his name?
Jim Irsay.
Irsay be wilding, dog. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Like
he probably say, "Go play, boy."
Yeah. And I think that's what I think he rubbed Jonathan Taylor the wrong way in a conversation that probably was had, and because this dude flat out like, quick, I'm ready to be up out of here.
That man be on some like, yeah, boy. You don't back out to
that's probably what he told him. He said, "Get out there, boy.
Get out there that field, boy." Like, what do you like? What in the world, man? What's your
That's
problem?
probably what he said. That's exactly what he probably said.
But
yeah, I mean, it's a tough position because nobody's going to trade and give the Colts anything for him. Because if you trade for him, then you got to pay him next year or franchise and guaranteed another $10 million, right? So it's between a rock and a hard place. But I think the Colts, if they're trying to win and they're in a division where it's possible, at least getting the playoffs, they need Jonathan Taylor, especially with a rookie quarterback. They got the pieces, right? They got a solid O-line. They was banged up last year. Taylor was hurt with the ankle. He missed a lot last year. Wasn't the same. But when he's on, the dude's electric, bro. The dude's electric. So they need him, especially with Anthony Richardson as a quarterback. He's young. A great running game always helps. I don't care how athletic he is, how strong his arm is. You need that running game to help him out. So I think at the end of the day, I think they fix it. And I think Jonathan Taylor is just going to play just because, he probably want to be there for his teammates. But something definitely went wrong. And for Jim Irsay to come out and make things public, just talking about the whole running back situation, I think that didn't help the situation either, right? And if you have a problem with what the other running backs are saying, just go talk to Jonathan Taylor, right? You didn't even have to get in the media. It didn't have to get to Twitter, right? And I think when you put things in the public, things get misconstrued, things get interpreted the wrong way. At the end of the day, just go have a conversation with the man.
Yeah, I just don't understand it, man. He feels he wants to get paid. He made an issue of it, which is something that's not everybody. We all know that happens. That happens all the time. It's not an issue where you're like, oh my God, this is a big issue. It's a known factor that when players get played, they're gonna become a little more disgruntled, right? Disgruntled, and that happens. So it's not a big deal. But man, to go on the public and say what some of the things he's been saying. But man, what's your problem, brother? Like these people ain't your their property. Like they're associated with your team. But these men ain't your property, man. They can feel like if they feel a certain type of way and they speak on it, they can be able to speak on it. And somehow he rubbed him the wrong way. I just feel like he's starting to really rub people the wrong way. Anyway, it's real weird how some of these players tend to kind of want to leave after a while. Like they're ready to move on from Indianapolis, man. And, 3 years ago, we were talking about this team competing for a Super Bowl, winning their division, and competing for a Super Bowl. But Andrew Luck, he's ready to move. He said those, and it's not even just a race factor. He said those some discouraging things about Payton Manning. When Payton Manning got hurt, that rubbed him the wrong way, and they say that Payton Manning has not been back to Indianapolis since.
Wow.
When he has came back, it's really on some just there for
a game and I'm out. Yeah,
he out of there. Like there's been times where they feel like he's still not associated with the team and that organization because of just the way Irsay just moves and what he says and what he does. Sometimes he need to learn how he need to get some type of training, man. Here's a cat that's I got a lot of money. I'm like, how did you get all this money, man? The way you be treating and talking and acting out of character.
I think it's the drugs.
He might still be on them.
Because for him to like you said, this man Jonathan Taylor, and like you said with Payton, Andrew Luck, It ain't like you said, it ain't nothing racist.
He's out of pocket for a lot of players.
He's talking crazy to everybody. He don't care who it is. And like you said, you don't own. I mean, at the end of the day, they play for your organization. But like you say, the way you carry it and the way you talk to these dudes, man, nobody won't come back to Indianapolis dealing with you, man. Nobody just don't want to do that.
Yeah, he's ruining their reputation the way he carries his business, man. The way he manages his business and speak to other men. I just don't. It's getting out of a situation where you just don't know what's going on in that locker room. And man, I literally felt like he was like, yeah, boy, like that type of vibes. Like that's what you got out of that. Like, yeah,
Basically.
boy, like get in there and get back out there on that field. He ain't going nowhere. Type. I'm like, what type of stuff is that, man? Like you can't talk to no grown man like that.
And take these 30 carries on and keep it moving.
Yeah, it's just not working out, man. And listen, I hate to see it because I think Indianapolis got a great fan base, but this dude right here is just keeping them from getting to that next level. Yeah. Maybe he's one of those type of owners. He's more of a Donald Sterling more than anything else. Just kind of a clueless older man that doesn't understand. Like you made so much money, you did so many different things, but you're devaluing the position of the team by your character. So man, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what Jonathan Taylor. He's not going to. They're not gonna trade him. I don't know if he's gonna play this season. I really don't understand it. If, like you said before, these false reports about his back problem, and he's like, "No, my back is fine." Like all these different things are going on, man. Like I don't know, brother. He's in a bad position though.
Yeah, bad.
And now they're not gonna pay him now.
Yeah. I'm not sure they're back at the negotiation table or not. So, man, good luck, my man. All right, so let's get to one of our favorite topics of our favorite subjects of our shows when we get to the fair and foul. Your boy Payton, Sean Payton, went out and said a lot of negative things about Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive coordinator for the New York Jets.
Yeah.
And man, it did not go well. Aaron Rodgers had something to say. A lot of other people had something to say. And yeah, we let's give our thoughts on that. We're gonna talk about, is it fair and foul that Sean Payton went all in on Nathaniel Hackett and how he managed the situation as the head coach for the Denver Broncos. Ray, start us off.
Yeah, man, it was foul. Like we all know the Broncos had a very bad year, but to call out Nathaniel Hackett like he did, knowing that these guys are coaching fraternity, he didn't have that to do. Like he could have proved the point by saying, "Look, I came in here to right the ship. The Broncos had a bad year last year. We here to fix the issues with Russell Wilson, get the team on the right track." Not specifically be calling out Nathaniel Hackett. So I think it's just truly foul. And I'm sure Sean Payton is probably looking back at it and probably like, damn, I shouldn't have said it. Right? Because now it's like all the backlash is coming back on you then versus going to Nathaniel Hackett. So I think, definitely foul. And I think if Sean Payton had to do it over again, I think he probably would take that back.
I think it's 50-50. And the only reason I'm going to give you both. From the foul, I think it's foul the way he came at him. But on the flip side, man, that dude was a horrible coach, bro. He was a horrible coach. And to me, for some of it, what Sean Payton said, the people in the booth were saying the same thing throughout the season, that this dude was clueless. You see what I'm saying? So
it's different for the media to say it than another coach.
But this is the thing.
Because you never know. You might need this man for some other way. You never know what things come around.
Yeah, but players talk about players, coaches talk about coaches all the time. This dude was a horrible coach, bro. He was a horrible coach. And Sean Payton probably ain't gonna need him because after this the last if he was a younger coach, then I get it. But this Sean Payton last go around, he ain't gonna need Hackett for nothing. He's just not. So I just leave it. I'm just both with it right now. I just think, yeah, it was kind of foul that he came out and said it. But at the end of the day, everybody was thinking the same thing. Sean Payton just said it. So it is what it is. Deal with it. Aaron Rodgers, you got him now. We'll see how well you play, with him this year. He's your guy. Let's see what happens in the Jets. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if they don't perform well, now they're gonna be like, Sean Payton, see, I told y'all, Hackett can't get it done.
I get it though, but you can't call a man out like that, bro. He was.
Man, it's a little bit of both, right? It's foul that he said something. It was not fair. There's been other coaches in the NFL that have done just as not bad of or just as worse job as Nathaniel Hackett did. He didn't go on some rampant and talk about them. There's a coaching fraternity or friend of mine or something of that nature where you don't go and ride on your brother. You know, yeah, he did a absolutely poor job. And here's the thing: you're not gonna make yourself look better by destroying him when your focus should be rebuilding his organization.
Yeah.
Right? Like in house, yes. Hey, you know, you should tell everybody in house, you let them know like, hey, this is not gonna happen again. Right. But once you guys are no longer once like not in house in the building, yeah, you tell the players this is how we're gonna move forward. But outside of that, man, that's it. Like that regime's done. That coaching staff is gone. They've been removed. It could be so. Here's the crazy part about it. It could be some coaches that may be still there from that coaching staff. You never know. So like by shitting on the way you shit on Hackett, really you could be talking about them as well.
Thanks.
So it's just like a lot of different things. Like I don't understand why he needed to do it. Like your focus should be really on rebuilding his organization, rebuilding Russell Wilson's confidence.
Yeah.
You just had one of your star receivers to rush
Tim Patrick.
Right? You need to get your running back healthy again. You need to start figuring out how to utilize some of your talent. Like there's other things that are going on, man, that you can be worried about than worried about this. You're in one of the more tougher divisions.
Thanks.
With two of the top 5, maybe top 10 quarterbacks in the league.
Yes, sir.
Like, I think there are things you can be focusing on and talking about Nathaniel Hackett and his hack job he did last year, leading his team. Yes, he was absolutely awful. Yes, he probably was still getting a check from the Denver Broncos because you get fired, you just don't get.
Yes, sir.
But at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with what you got going on in 2023 in the 2023 football season. Man, I don't even understand that, man. I think Sean Payton need to I think he deserved what Aaron Rodgers said too.
Yep. Absolutely.
I thought it was in poor taste to do what he did. You know what I mean? Because I think you got more things now. You know, like I said before, if you're having a conversation with somebody and this information just got out, you're having a conversation amongst friends, like, you know, and we're like talking about the bat and then somebody gave a statement about it, that's one thing. But to literally go on some type of show or some type of situation where you publicly say all these things, man, that was out of line. That was out of line. So he's gonna have to, you know, he apologized, but at the end of the day, man, you broke a code.
He better win.
Yeah, now you got more pressure on yourself because you can't look bad. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't look bad at all. You starting camp, it's already looking a little tough for you. Like I said, you just tore one of your top receivers, rushes Achilles, so you know he's gonna be down. Your running back was hurt last year. He still has to get back into the flow of things.
And you got a couple of people suspended.
Yeah, you got to know what you're going to do with this talent you have. They've been kind of underperforming, right? The receivers been kind of underperformed last year as well. So what you're going to do with this is going to be very interesting, man. It's going to be very interesting how you move forward.
They got some weapons.
Got some weapons, yeah.
Sutton and Judy, I mean, they can do something.
But he's going to have to, he'll have to figure out how to utilize them.
Yeah.
And think about this, you know, with Sean Payton, his teams are always a little different. And the teams he have, they normally have 2 or 3 running backs, a speed receiver, a Bill Cowper type receiver, like he had with Colson and Thomas. That speed receiver like Ted Ginn Jr.
Yep.
Multiple running backs. So I don't even know if he has all the players he has right now to even be a successful winning, maybe 9-10 type of game type of season. So
yeah, and then the division tough too.
And it's gonna make that Jets game even more of a spotlight.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be Monday Night Football.
Yeah, because now everybody
gonna flex that.
Yep. So yeah, I feel like he could have just chilled out on that one. He should chill out on that. So yeah, that's fine. All right, so next up, man, let's talk about the college football season.
Wow.
There's been a lot of musical chairs going on as far as like some of these conferences want to, and the teams want to move on from the conference. We know next year, I think it's next year.
Texas and Oklahoma, yeah.
Texas, Oklahoma start next year. I think UCLA and USC start next year in the Big Ten. So Texas, Oklahoma, SEC, UCLA, and
Oregon, Washington, they start next year too.
Yeah, so they're moving to the Big 12.
No, they're moving to the Big 10.
Are they moving to the Big 10?
Yeah, they're moving to the Big 10.
Oh, moving to the Big 10.
Big 10 loaded,
Big 12 then?
Arizona State, Utah, Colorado.
and all them moving back to the Big 12.
Got it. All right, cool. So give your thoughts on it, man. D, start us out. What are your thoughts on all these teams moving on? And then the possibility, they're talking about Florida State leaving ACC, Clemson. Get your thoughts on that.
I think we should have seen this coming down the pike. I just think that now that money is playing a big part of this, and schools like the Pac-10, the ACC, with the Big Ten making the most money than the SEC behind them, they getting all the money to support the other programs outside of football. Whereas football is the bell cow, but you got other sports, gymnastics, softball, swimming, volleyball. You got to support those because with the Title IX, you're going to have more money, more TV deals to support those athletics as well. And you're giving scholarships to those people. So you got to figure out a way to, make more money for the school. And with these TV deals that the SEC has, the Big Ten has, you got to find a way to get a piece of the pie. And I think that's what a lot of these schools are looking at, where some of these schools are, they're not making the money within their athletics because their team's not as good, or they just not producing. They don't bring value to the conference. So now you're gonna have to, get into conferences where you can make money for the school, can support your football, but also support the other athletics that you have going on within that school. So sooner or later, it's gonna be down to three or maybe four conferences. Yeah, I think it'll be down to three sooner or later, because some teams just gonna be independents. I mean, it's gonna just be three big time conferences, and then two conferences that other teams just have to just go and join because nobody don't want them. And you see that with the situation with Washington, Oregon State, Cal, and Stanford right now. Nobody don't want them. Yeah. Nobody don't want them. So, you're going to have situations where Notre Dame is going to have to make a decision. They're going to have to make a decision sooner or later, because now with the ACC is under that ironclad contract, but they're trying, I'm pretty sure behind the scenes, they're trying to find a way to look, we might need to disband, and then, we go join other conferences. That's the only way you're going to get from under that contract. Because you sign a contract to 2036, and you're going to make the same money up to 2036. You're going to be way behind the 8 ball. And it's not like schools like Clemson who have IPTAY, but a lot of these other schools don't have no big, big money givers, to help them out on the things that they're losing out on. So you're going to have to disband the ACC and go into the other conferences and make it a lot even. But one of my partners, we had a discussion about this as well. We think, and he made up a good point, all of these Power 5 schools needs to work together and get bigger TV deals for everybody, just like the NFL. We need to work together. You get bigger deals instead of just everybody, the SEC going here, the Big Ten here, ACC here. Why not work together and get bigger deals for everybody across the board and just work together? But I mean, we'll see how it works out. But I just think that by Oregon and Washington going to the Big Ten, I think the SEC now is okay, they don't want up this. So now we need to go and find out who can we get to join our side, even though they already got enough. But they're like, nah, we need to get 2 more teams to put this thing on a bigger stage than what it is. I mean, they don't really need nobody else, but I just think it would help them. Because like I said, the Big Ten make the most money. The Big Ten is getting all the money, and then it's the SEC. But I do think, if Florida State, Clemson leave, who knows?
Yeah, I love it, man. From a consumer standpoint, you're getting a lot of teams now that's going to be beating up on each other. You really, truly going to earn a national championship because how deep these conferences are, right? We always talk about the SEC is kind of top heavy, right? But when the big dogs are rolling, the bottom is really at the bottom. But I blame the commissioners of the Pac-12. You got to be forward thinking. You got to see how big the NFL getting with these TV deals, NFL getting with these TV deals. You cannot be settling for pennies, right? Like you're supposed to be like getting the biggest bang for your buck with these TV deals because they're giving out a ton of money. So I'm not surprised the Pac-12 is folding, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to take on Stanford, Cal, because from an academic standpoint, a lot of the conferences would want it, but it's hard to get the premium athletes in those institutions to hold your academic programs to a certain standard from graduation rate and all that kind of stuff. I know that'll play a factor, but I love it, man. Like I said, I think we're trending towards 3 or 4 power conferences, and we're going to see what the ACC do. Like I know we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but it's going to be interesting to do. I like the movement. I love what Dan Landing said about Colorado. Like, what the hell have they won, to miss them? But then they leave. But at the end of the day, man, I love it from a consumer standpoint. We're going to get some great football in 24. A lot of big power teams going to be playing each other now that didn't used to play each other. I love it.
So we can go ahead and get into it. I think they are going to go to 3 leagues. I think this is just the start of the process. As they're slimming down these different organizations, but it's kind of I'm thinking it'd be 3 power conferences, but there'll still be opportunities for I think because they call them now they call them the group of 5. So the teams that are not a part of that group of 5 to be able to start now getting into the rims of being able to compete for national championships and play for them as well. Because a lot of this really, the process is really the process of this is developing because we're about to go to the playoff system where it's going to be 12 teams. So you kind of start to see things ironing out based off that process. That's really what it is. It's really everybody. So these conferences, these teams, these organizations, and universities are going to these other conferences so they can position themselves for that playoff when they go, and that's in 2026. So yes. that's 3 years from now.
I thought it was 2025.
I think it's 2026. I may be wrong, but I think it's 2026. I think 2025 or 2026 they go to 12 teams. So that's what you're seeing. I mean, in my opinion, you're seeing everybody trying to position themselves, get into the stronger leagues. If you lose it, because right now, if you lose a game, right? If you're in the SEC, you lose a game, you can win the conference. You're still going to be part of the playoff. And it's only maybe like 4. It's only honestly 1, 2, 3. It's only 3 leagues that are like that. Like if once the Pac-12 lose a game, it's over because the conferences, like you said, is so top heavy. They're weak at the end. So if they lose a game, you don't really. There's no change in how everybody utilize how they view them. So now Big 12, same situation, right? You're not Oklahoma. You're not going. You're not going. So now it's really gonna be right now. It's Big 10 and the SEC.
Yeah,
and then you have to have a special season like how TCU had last year, or previously was Cincinnati, right? But once you get into that 12, you can lose a couple of games. You can lose a game. You can be like what Alabama was last year and still be part of that 12 selection when it comes to the playoff system.
Yes,
That's what they're positioning itself for.
The playoffs start next year.
Next year? Okay, so it's next year.
Yeah,
so yeah, everybody's getting. I mean, it's been going. The playoffs still going, but now they go to this span
12.
12 teams. So that's what you're seeing. You see everybody position itself for it.
How you think it helps or hurt the mid-level teams? Like a Cincinnati made it to the playoffs, right? Like you got these big power conferences where if you got 12 teams, the Big Ten got what, 20 teams now?
No, 18? They got 18.
Do you really think 6 may come out of there? You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be an issue. It's gonna be an issue because
then the Big 12 though. Then the Big 12 now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like these big power conferences.
It's gonna be
like how do a Cincinnati get in or Central Florida? Like teams that go undefeated.
They gonna get in.
They're
in the Big 12, right? They in the Big 12.
You know what I'm saying? Like teams like that's not in the big power. Let's say we go.
You're not listening to me. They're going to the Big 12, so it won't matter if they go in Central Florida and Cincinnati. They're in the Big 12, so the Big 12 is a Power 5.
Yeah, they are going.
So if all right, I've used them as an example, right? Not knowing they were moving. Just say any other team that's a mid-major that go undefeated that usually would have a shot.
You're not letting us answer your question first and foremost. You keep talking, not answering. A lot of people answer the question, and like I just stated, you have a point. There it will be an issue, because we're using those as an example, but it could be like a 2 or 3 loss team. Like, let's say you're a 2-loss team. Let's say you got a 2-loss team, like Tennessee, for example, like last year. Maybe they lost 1 game, 2 games, or LSU who goes to the conference. They say they lose 1 game or 2 games, and they go to the conference championship, but they lose 1 game, they go to the conference and lose that game. Are they better than maybe what team you just utilized? What team you just?
I say it's Cincinnati, but I know they're going to be. I say Tulane.
Like a Cincinnati or anybody. Like Cincinnati's undefeated. Are they not? Is LSU still not better than them?
Right.
Because you look at the schedule, you look at how everything managed and everything goes forward. LSU probably has a tougher schedule, play against a lot of top level team, top level talent. Do you say, okay, you know what? LSU, hey man, do you say LSU you're not better than them because they're undefeated? Or do you look at the teams they play and how they got through the schedule and the teams? And I don't know, man. Like, that's gonna be an issue. It's going to be an issue when you have 12 teams.
Yeah. Yep.
It's gonna be an issue because it's not gonna be the top 4. You're probably gonna be from 5 down to 12.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the issue.
Yeah.
So everybody's positioning themselves in these conferences so that they can maybe at least have some case.
Yep.
That's gonna be the thing, man. So that's and it's gonna be interesting to see how this works out.
And I think, like you said, that's going to be the biggest issue. 5 on the top 4. Okay, they the conference winners.
Right.
5 below, because you can have 2 teams, or you might have like 6 or 8 teams that's 10-2, and they play a tough schedule, and guess what? They might have played a cross schedule.
Yeah.
But you're gonna look at LSU and be like, okay, LSU, they played Bama, they played Georgia, they played Florida, Tennessee all in the same year, and then you got a team like, let's say Nebraska. They done played Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, and whoever's pretty decent in Wisconsin in the Big Ten, right? What are you gonna use to say, okay, LSU don't deserve to be there, or Nebraska, you don't deserve to be there? You see what I'm saying? Because it's going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen where a year that a team going to knock out 3, maybe 3 out of the 4 top dogs, right, on both sides. But you lose to both of y'all lose to like LSU lose to a Mississippi State and they lose to a Bama. And then you have Nebraska lose to a Purdue and lose to Ohio State, but they beat all the top dogs. What do you do with that?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? And here's the thing, it's going to be, if you look at, that's what I was thinking about just now, like, right? So we just talk about how Alabama, like, for instance, this season, Texas play Alabama. That's going to be a humongous game because for the rankings. They play the second game of the season.
Woo, bomb burn.
So, like, in Tuscaloosa. That's already going to be, because that's going to be big implications for Texas and big implications for Alabama. If Texas win that game, you look at them, you say, okay, hey, they ready. They can go through. They can lose another game in the season, right? Yep. If Alabama loses, it could be big implication on them. But people can say, well, that was early in the season. They didn't have the quarterback position ironed out. It's like it's going to be so much out of that game because now you got to kick it off the season. Boom, right there. It's some mega games coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
mega games coming up that is going to have some implications late in the season.
Do you think those mega games in the beginning of the season still will go on? Because now they may go to 9, 10 conference games. You already got the gauntlet going through conference. Do we want to schedule another Power 5 type team beginning the first, second game of the year?
I don't think so. I think the way it's built now, you're gonna have your 10. If they go to 10 games, then you're gonna have your 10 strongest. You're gonna have to fight through the conference. I think you play one cross conference, whereas the Big Ten play somebody in the SEC. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or they play somebody in the ACC or somebody in the Big 12. And I think you play some Rudy Poop, whatever, outside of that to get them some money, to get them money to help the school out. Because at the end of the day, when you look at these conferences and when everything is finalized, you're gonna be when you get to that playoffs, you better have enough scholarships and enough people healthy so that you can play in that playoffs, bro. Because that's what it's gonna be. You're gonna need healthy bodies. You're gonna need a whole lot of healthy bodies throughout the season because it's gonna be a tough sled. No matter how you look at it, you're gonna have to play every weekend. It can't be nowhere, I'm feeling bad for myself. And nah, you got to play. But see, this is the thing too. The money that these coaches are earning, let me see you earn that money now. Now you really gonna have to earn that money. Let me see how you make in-game decisions. Let me see how you recruit players. Let me see how you have your team ready week in and week out. Because it's going to be tough. Yeah. It is going to be tough. And that $9 and $10 million and $8 million that these coaches are making, and when they leave or they up and leave and go to these other jobs, they get their payout. You're gonna have to earn your money now. You really gonna have to earn your money.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting how it works out. Earn your money gonna be one thing. Recruiting's gonna be another. You're not gonna have these very simple. And then listen, you're gonna see who the real big dogs.
Yeah.
The real big dogs gonna be real on. They're gonna be out there on display coming up in a couple of weeks, man. A couple of years. You're gonna really see who really is one of the big dogs in the areas. And then think about a Miami. I mean, what is Miami gonna do eventually?
Yeah, they're going to move. ACC done.
Yeah, the ACC. If Clemson and Florida State leave, it's a wrap. Yeah. It's over. It's over, brother. They are. I don't know where FSU would go.
But let me help you out. They can't go nowhere.
Who is they?
Florida State can't go nowhere. Clemson can't go nowhere unless they disband the ACC. That contract that they went for until 2036, they can't go nowhere. And Notre Dame is locked into that as well. That's why they can't move nowhere. They have to disband the ACC in order for them to talk about they up in the league. Man, it cost them $500 million. It will cost them a whole rack of money with the contract, the way it got it set up. That's why Florida State doing all that talking. They trying to go to Wall Street and become a
Wall Street
nonprofit. No, they trying to go to get the money to get out of the ACC because of that contract. So they doing all that talking. Bro, they got to have 8 teams to get out of that contract. They say, you know what? We're going to disband. Mm-hmm. So they talking, but they can't go nowhere right now. So I don't know. There's some stuff going on behind the scenes that they talking to some people, probably going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to yet, and we'll find out later on. But for right now, they can't go nowhere.
But they out of there.
Okay.
They'll find a way.
Big money talk.
I don't agree with you that they behind the scenes working out, but that ironclad contract that they got with ESPN 2036.
Money talk, dog.
That's why ESPN nah.
And if ESPN gonna still benefit, shit, they televise damn near all the games anyway.
But think about this though. If you already locked into a contract of 2036, right? And I'm paying you $20 million, why am I gonna let you out this contract? Well, I ain't got to pay you that much. Well, I can give you $20 million for the next 10 years. Why would I break that contract?
That's a dumbass deal anyway. 10 years from now, you know what media gonna be.
But see, that's my point. I don't disagree with what you're right, Ray. I'm just saying whoever signed that contract with ESPN at the time in the ACC was a bad contract to sign for damn near 15 years, bro. Yeah. Where you get other schools making $40 million and y'all getting this same $10 million in 2036, you're gonna be so far behind, bro. Your recruiting is gonna be so bad. You might have about 50 players on scholarship because all these other schools, all the other players gonna go to these schools like that Big 12 and the Big 10, the SEC. That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure they're working behind the scenes to probably disband or try to work some structural things with the contract. But dog, if I'm giving you $20 million a year and they're making $60 million a year, you $40 million behind.
Yeah.
What's gonna help? Yeah, go ahead.
That's just the issue.
And what's gonna happen is too, and I love it, the NIL money is gonna go up. Because now you got schools in these conferences, these kids won't compete. You gotta up the money if you want these kids to come to the Big 10, Big 12, SEC.
So that's the point I'm saying. The ACC got to figure that out because if I'm paying, I got an extra $40 million on the books to where I can give it to kids to come to my school. Man, you're gonna get dusted. I don't care how great a program you got. I got these other 3 conferences I can choose from and get money from. That ACC gonna get dusted.
Dusted, huh?
They gonna get dusted easy.
Yeah, they done though.
They already done anyway.
Yeah, it ain't a premier. It's not a premier conference anymore.
They already done anyway. You know what I mean? They already done. They were top heavy regardless. Is that a Clemson or no?
Yeah, facts. That's
There's
true on that.
nobody else. So unless they playing basketball, it's a done deal.
True. I hope
Baseball.
Like, so two things going on: basketball, and that's it. And even in basketball of late, they kind of been struggling. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah, the ACC better make a move soon. Do
They
something.
got to make a move. They got to make a move out there so they can figure it out, man. Because once you start getting all these teams and these power leagues, and you got like a Clemson, they can entice Clemson. They can entice a Florida State to get up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's going on? ESPN is going to also should benefit, but it's also hurting them too because ESPN is under some type of restructuring where they got things going. They're trying to figure out how to make money because they're not making any money. Disney's like, yo, man, we tired of dealing with the ESPN.
I think they're gonna fold. I think in the next 1 or 2 years, I think ESPN gonna fold.
You think so? Nah, somebody buy it.
Somebody else will buy it, but I just think that they got so many issues with Disney being investigated for things and dealing with what's going on in Florida. It's gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be real tough, and you getting and people. I mean, you letting people go because you got to pay court costs, So it's like, hey, somebody got to do something. You got
that family network, bro. Disney
heading the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. All right, man. Let's get into the last topic of the day. It was a lot. Last weekend was a very interesting weekend. That Saturday, it didn't unfold like I expected it to unfold, but it was a very entertaining build up to that mega fight that happened last Saturday between Earl Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford. So we all know what happened. We saw the outcome of the fight, but then now the conversation of them. Running it back in at 154. So, D, you start this one off. Would you be interested in seeing Spence and Crawford fight at 154 again?
No.
Okay.
No. And this is why. It's just some people that's better than you. And it's just some people that is a bad matchup for you. Bud Crawford is a bad matchup for Errol Spence. It's a bad matchup for him. One, Bud is a defense fighter who can hit you with both of his hands. He can hit you with the right, he can hit you with the left. And once he figured out that, Spence can't take my punches, because the big issue was, can Bud take Spence punches?
Mm-hmm.
And he proved that, he got hit a couple of times, but he just walked right through him.
Yeah.
And I just think Spence, this ain't the guy you want to keep fighting, bro. Like it's no different when Antonio Tarver was fighting Roy Jones. It was a bad fight. It just was a bad fight for him. And
that's a bad analogy because Jones beat Tarver the first time.
No, he won by decision, but Tarver punished him after that. He whipped, and then the dude Johnson whipped Roy after that.
That's not what happened, bro.
What happened?
That's not what happened. Jones beat Tarver the first time. Whether you want to see a decision or not, he beat him the first time.
And
the second time, Tarver caught him with a left hook. It was a one punch. He caught him with one punch and knocked him out.
He punched him the whole fight, bro.
No, he didn't. The fight only went 2 rounds, man. Like, what are you talking about?
At the end of the day,
it was Glenn Johnson that punished.
He punished him,
for 12 rounds.
Errol Spence.
Or at least not 9, because he knocked him out. I think he knocked him out like the 10th round, 9th or 10th round.
Spence, don't fight that man anymore. Let it be. You done lost. Let it be. Because I think it's gonna be the same kind of fight. Bud gonna block his punches and gonna counter every time. I just don't see Spence winning this fight if they fight again. And if you go up, you go up to 154. What's gonna be the difference? I mean, what's gonna make the difference? If you
7 pounds does make a difference.
I mean, it makes a difference, but shit, you was a lot slower when you was hitting them at 147. You was looking slow out there.
I don't know if weight makes you faster. I'm not sure what you're talking about there.
I'm just saying you going to 154 and you think you got a better chance of winning at 154? You fighting this man?
It matters. I don't know his camp. I'll go ahead next, Ray. I guess you can go last on this one. I don't know his camp, so I don't know if he was struggling to make weight. So if he was struggling to make weight, I will say this, and I think I text Ray before the fight started, and I said, why is he not hitting the mitts?
Yeah.
Like, so to me, from what I would assume is that he probably was trying to conserve energy, because of the fact that he wasn't trying to exert himself. So that may have been, something that he was trying to do to make sure that he doesn't come in there already exhausted or so on. So he may have had a problem trying to make weight. I'm not trying to make that any reason or excuse, but he may have had an issue. He may have been drained. And so that may have been one of the reasons why. Now, the problem is, it's not the problem. The issue is that Bud is 35 years old. He does not have a lot of fights left. So he's going to have to fight Spence again. He's going to have to fight him. At 154, at 147, catch weight. They want to do a catch weight. It don't matter because at 154, Spence is not a champion. Crawford's not a champion at 154 either. So it doesn't matter if they fight at 154. It's not going to be for belts. So, but if they fight again, he's going to have to fight him because Crawford is 35 years old. He does not have a lot of lanes to go to. He's not going to fight Boots next. That's not happening. Keith Thurman's name is not there enough for him to fight Keith Thurman. So where are you going to go? You're either going to go up and fight one of the Charlos, and Charlo he's fighting Canelo next month. The other one is at 168, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's at 168. I think he's super middleweight. So who are you going to fight? And that's the one that got slapped. It just got slapped by my boy, Caleb. So who are you going to fight?
Yeah, that's true.
You ain't fighting him because he's at 168. He's too big. You're not fighting the other Charlo. He fights next month. Who you going to fight at the end of the year? You're going to have to fight somebody. You're 35 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a lot of options.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not fighting the kid Boots. The kid is like, what, 27, 28?
Yeah, Boots.
Just as hard as he can. Has hand speed, move, can fights in both stances. It's not going to happen. You go take the payday. You fight with him again. Right, at 154, you go get paid because this is the biggest money. That's why he's thinking Spence. This is the most money he ever made in a fight. Ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Top Rank with some trash.
Yeah, he's not made any money. He has not made any money. He ain't making no Canelo money.
Nah.
He's not making Canelo money. Canelo just signed a three fight deal for $100 million. He already got the money he made with what's it called, the DS that network. He already had been getting money with the Golden Boy now. So Canelo been getting money for probably the last decade.
Yeah, he up there with Floyd, dog.
Yeah, Canelo probably made almost $400 million, if not more. So where he gonna go? You 35, cuz.
Yeah.
And you ain't gonna keep making all this weight at 147 at 35. It's gonna be a strain on him too soon. So he's gotta fight him again. And I'll watch it. Because I want to see, was it the weight? What I saw was, I knew Spence had flaws. I just didn't think Crawford can expose them. That's what I saw. So, but to me, if I'm Spence, I got to go talk to Derrick James. Because Derrick James, to me, did not prepare Spence at all. Because he did not do a good job of getting him ready. Not for that fight. It's sort of like I was talking to my boy, Warren Morrell. I was like, I felt like they didn't think he was gonna fight in that stance. And for the entirety of the fight. I think they thought he may switch. He may go, he's gonna go back to traditional or orthodox. I think that's what they were thinking. And when you watch the fight, when he was fighting out of southpaw the entire time,
tearing him up with that right.
Yeah, so and that's what the thing I was telling one of my boys is they were like, well, why he won't stay? He normally switches. I said, no, he's gonna stay in that stance because he's taking away Spence's jab.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it. Like he was keeping it, so every time Spence would throw that jab, he would either counter him with a right hand, or he would catch him. He either counter with a hook, or he'll catch him with his jab, or he'll catch him with that left hand.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, bro, it's like they didn't prepare for it. So I gotta see if they're gonna do a better job of being able to take away what he do. Like I would have been like, crowd him a little bit more, do something else besides walking into that damn punch, that jab that's catching you across your damn head every time you keep walking forward. You keep coming forward, he keeps hitting you with the same goddamn jab.
Every time.
And you had no head movement, which I've said that about Spence before.
He never
why you won't move your goddamn head, cuz? It's in the same place every time he throws.
And
his head movements, he'll duck down. That's how he got caught that flash knocked down in the second round. He ducked, he hit him. First of all, he jabbed, and then he stepped backwards. And Weston caught him with a jab, and then he ducked down to avoid it, and then he caught him right on the shoulder right there and knocked him down. I said, man, come on, man. You gotta do that. Like,
and he kept dropping his
head. They said after round 4, I said, this is over. Yeah. My dad was like, you think it's over? Yeah, he ain't gonna. I said, yeah, he's not prepared for this fight. You can see it coming. So, yeah, man. Ray, go ahead and finish this off.
You said it all, dog. Personally, if they fight again, it's going to be the same. I don't see a difference. I think Bud just a better fighter. He's faster with his hands. He can go southpaw. He can go righty. Like, I think he just misses. If I'm Spence, you take the payday. If I'm Bud, like you said, you made great points, JD. Bud's getting older, take the payday, so they probably will fight. Probably maybe in May, or maybe at the end of the year.
End of the year, December.
Right? Take the payday. Like I said, Bud really don't have many options at 147. Thurman chirping a lot, but he ain't no name for pay-per-view. And who else? Boots ain't a pay-per-view guy yet, right? Like, he's a nice fighter, but people are not going to pay for that. So he really don't have but Spence. But I think he'll beat Spence again, though. It was blatantly, he was way better. Blatantly, it was clear. Like, it was just clear. And that was torn, dog. Like, I like Spence, great fighter. I like Bud. And I couldn't, who I wanted to pick, I went with Bud. But I didn't think Spence would get his ass whooped like that. Like, that shit was a beat down. Like, he wasn't even prepared, dog.
That
shit was a beat down. Like, god damn, dog. And then, he came out pressing first round. Like, he was like, dog, he walking him down. He walking him down. Bro, he changed that tune come that second round, third round. He's like, boy, this shit over.
And you have to give Spence, not Spence, you got to give Bud this props is. And I knew this part. I was like, what would Spence do? And I think I was texting my friend this like before the festival. The one thing I'm interested in is what Spence going to do when Bud makes him fight off his back foot, right? Which is what he did in the second and third round. He started coming forward late in the rounds, actually. Like around 5th or 6th, he started forcing him to fight out that back. He can't do it. He can't fight. That's why once I saw that part, I was like, this is over. Because he can't fight off his back foot. Like now he's backpedaling and he can't trap him. You're fighting with a master counterpuncher. And and if you're gonna be that type of fighter, you gotta have fluid hand speed. Like you gotta have in and out hand speed. That's the guys who kept giving him problems were like Gamboa gave Spence, not Spence, but Crawford problems because his foot speed and his hand speed of being able to get in there and out match him when it comes to like exchanging punches. Like those punches that he would catch him because Crawford just didn't have the hand speed to match. Yeah. And so those are the things, man, that you gotta see. I don't see nothing happen. You know what I am interested in seeing though. I'm interested to see if I don't want to see him against some Charlos. I don't think neither one can beat him. Now I would be interested to see him with a Tank. Tank is fighting at one.
Tank could probably go
135. He can go to 147. I think he could go to 140. He probably walks around like 180. So I think
he say like 150. That boy say 180.
I'm dead serious. Tank probably walks around 180.
Dang.
Like, I've seen him in person.
That's heavy for a dude.
40 pounds?
No, he's about 5'5", 5'6", but I've seen Tank in person. Like he's short and little. But he probably walks around at 180. You think about it, like Lamont Jr. probably walks around like 170. And cuts down about one. And I asked him, Lamont, does he walk around like 170? But I guarantee you, Lamont ain't walking around here at like one. He stays in great shape, but he's probably walking around like one. Look at Spence. He probably walks around like 185.
I could probably believe it.
Yeah, they probably drop about 40 pounds for the fight.
That's a lot,
Yeah,
though.
it's not too many fighters that stay. I mean, it was maybe like Floyd would stay around like 150, 160.
Yeah.
But every other fighter, nobody walks around. That was the problem with Ricky Hatton. Fat ass, he'd be out there like walking around at like 190 pounds and then going and fight at 140.
Them Irish Bears, man.
Like, getting knocked out the way he did because he kept kind of cut weight. Like, you can't cut all that weight, man. Like, that's impossible to do. But I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be. I would like to see what he like a tank. I would like to see that. He's not gonna fight Stevenson, and Stevenson's got to go up eventually. I'm Haney going at the 140. Fight your boy from New Orleans. That's gonna be interesting. They should fight in New Orleans.
Who? Haney?
Yeah, they should fight in New Orleans, man.
Who we
I
fighting?
was Haney. I would trust. Hey, man, we gotta fight in the Superdome.
It will sell out. It will make money.
Because your boy's from New Orleans, so he gonna get a command. He gonna beat the shit out of your boy from New Orleans.
He gonna beat him, but he gonna beat him. I don't think boy ready, but dude nice, but I don't think he's ready.
Who ready?
I think the dude he's nice, but I don't think he's ready for Haney.
Ready for what? He old, man. Like, he ain't young.
I know, but I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think Haney will definitely beat him easily.
Oh, Haney gonna wear that boy out. If Haney, listen, Haney, you hear this, man, go fight that man in New Orleans. Take all that New Orleans money.
Get back to the city.
Go ahead and fight.
The casino right down the street. It's still gonna be on pay-per-view. Don't go to Vegas with this fight because he don't have a name for Vegas.
Yeah, nobody ain't going
to New Orleans. Fight him in his backyard. You beat him like how
talking about Bernard Hawkins beat him.
Corey Spinks.
Oh.
Yeah, Corey Spinks gave that big jigging.
Yeah. He beat him in St. Louis.
Yeah.
He beat him in St. Louis.
He was on that top ring jigging, boy.
Yeah, he fought at home in St. Louis and got his ass whooped in St. Louis.
That shit was funny as shit, boy.
I never forget that. He came up there, he was doing that thing, he was getting it. No, they fought at, I think they had a 140 or 147. I think they was at 147.
That shit was funny, boy. That shit was hilarious, dude. He was hyped too.
The bullet mirror or something that's trash. But yeah, that dude came down there doing that thing. He came down there doing it. Well, he came out.
He was on that chingy.
He was killing that chingy. All right, I mean, from the back all the way down the ring line. From the back of that joint, the locker room, all the way to the ring. Do that, that St. Louis chick, that shit is, man. He was killing it. And then as soon as he got that ring, about the fourth round, he got knocked out.
Got drilled.
He was fighting strong at first, but then like Zab, and even Zab said, Zab was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't fight him back home. Like, nah,
it's hard, bro.
It's too much pressure." Yeah. He was like, "Yeah, it's too much pressure." Because they asked Zab, like, "Do you think you'll win?" He was like, "Yeah, because you fighting back home, that's too much pressure." Yeah, that dude came out there doing that thing. He came out there doing that thing. Got destroyed. Yep. So. But I would fight home in New Orleans, man. I think that'll be big. It'd be big for New Orleans. It'd be big for if you could pack out the Superdome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got the casinos right down the street. You can go gamble.
It'd be fun.
You know what I mean? Still got the bookies. You play a little bit of gambling game right now. Yeah, bro. Beat them down. Beat them in New Orleans.
You lost money on Spence?
I sure did.
Yeah. I think Keon lost too.
Well, so I bet. So how I lost was I didn't bet on both fighters. I didn't bet like directly on both because I just had a feeling. I didn't like the odds of the amount of money you're gonna get for betting on the fighters. Just wasn't gonna. You gotta do a parlay. We're gonna have to get the fight with the Bull. I think him and other Spence or Crawford, something like that. You gotta do a parlay. But I did bet like per round, like rounds.
Okay.
Like, so I bet like a double, like a 2-way. So like they win that round and they win the fight in that round. I was betting that. I bet for a tie. Didn't get that. I bet straight up with Spence because the odds on Spence was like you can get that. And then I was betting on Crawford too.
Okay.
So I was betting on both. This is one of the few fights that I did not have a favorite. I just like the certain styles, but I just knew like. I think it's something about Bud that irks me. I ain't gonna lie to anybody. it's something about his attitude or his personality that irks me. So I just could not support him. Like I don't know what it is, and all the Bud fans are even more annoying. I don't know if it's him just being from Omaha. You know what I mean? It's just a black dude. Omaha. Maybe it's because the dude on Belly was this big ass hater in Omaha. I just don't like Omaha. I don't like none of the people in Omaha. I don't like nothing. I don't like nothing about them. Nothing about Omaha. Omaha, Nebraska. I don't like Omaha. Old boy used to keep saying that and changing the plays. I don't like nothing about Omaha. You know what I mean? So I just can't support that.
Tell us how you really feel, dog.
For real.
I can't support him, man. I just don't not like. I don't personally dislike him because I don't know him, but I just can't support him. I do not want to I just can't support him at all, But good luck, brother.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
All right, man. So that's the last topic for the day. Before we get out of here, any final thoughts?
Yeah, ain't nothing. Hey, man, let's keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep making this thing happen and see where it go.
Yeah, man. Great show, man. Good to be back in the booth. Man, shout out to my man D Springs, bro. Happy birthday to you and Sabrina. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, bro.
Appreciate it, big dog. Appreciate it.
15 years is a monumental, bro. Just keep moving forward. Happy birthday to my wife Tiffany on the 10th. Happy birthday to my man Bryce. His birthday on the 10th as well.
Yeah,
man, we out here, man. So keep supporting us. Keep riding with us. We keep moving forward no matter if we're in year 5 going forward. We in it to win it.
And shout out to my man A Boogie, man, for looking out for you.
Facts.
When it comes to the what's the name of the place again?
The Honcho House. We in there next Saturday.
Yeah, there you go. Give him a spot. Give him a shout out for that, man. The Honcho House. Shout out to him for looking out for you on that, man. Getting you a reservation so you and your lovely wife can go enjoy a good meal.
Yeah, man, I heard a lot of great things about the Honcho House, man. Shout out to A Boogie, man. My man Aaron. Hey, man, you got to use your network, man. He said, hit him up anytime we want to get in.
I said,
so we pulled that.
I told him, I said, yeah, man, I see you there poaching.
Yes, sir. Hey, man.
I was like,
it is what it is.
So
it's crazy. They sell walk-ins now, so hopefully, but it's still gonna be a long way to get in there, though.
Yeah, it's a long way to get in, man. That place is I heard it's everything and beyond. And I think he's opened up another location in that same establishment area. So good luck to those guys, man. Yeah, definitely thank you looking at me. Where you taking the missus tonight, man?
Man, I don't know. She's thinking about it now.
Hell no.
Wherever she want to go, bro. I ain't even. Hey, listen.
Bring your credit card.
It changed every day, bro. It changed every day.
Bring the credit card, baby.
I just go with the flow.
Go to what's it called? Soto's. Go to Soto's. I think the name's Soto's. It's a nice little restaurant. That or Delina. Delina's a nice one. You know what I mean? I give you some recommendation, man. RPM Italian. That's a good one right there. You know what I mean? One thing I do know the establishment, the restaurant establishment. So yeah, you got it. You need the advice, but just let me know, man. I would definitely help you out.
True Lux is good too.
Yeah.
True Lux is good too.
Oh, True Lux?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True Lux. Yes. Yeah, man. Go put your little suit coat jacket on, man. Take it to True Lux, man. Yeah.
Take the J's off, man.
Yeah, man. You gotta go in there and put a little. All you gotta put a little jacket on.
Hey, look. I got to put my little sneakers on.
T-shirt up under it, but put a jacket on. And you know what I mean? And take out the Western names. Maybe take out the J's, bro. And just go in there, man. Have a good time, man.
Hey, man, I am, bro.
All right, fellas, man. So we out of here, brothers.
For sure.
All right, we out of here.
Yep.